Ornstein bomber for your blood clot.
We've got him. Finally, we got the bomber we've all been waiting for, people. Quiet Sunday night, about to do a watch-along for the Club World Cup. Just watched the Wimbledon final. Timeline's going crazy. Oh, what's happened here? Ornstein drops the bomber. Just when Fabrizio's been dominating the whole of pre-season, Ornstein drops the real bomber. Let's talk about it. Great news, by the way, for Arsenal. This is the one that we've been waiting for all summer. David Ornstein, people, with the big news. He has said Arsenal are in the process of completing the move for Viktor Gyökeres after taking the final steps in negotiations with Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal have made formal advances on deal terms over the weekend in a bid to secure the 27-year-old Sporting Lisbon striker. 5-year contract lined up, and that is in The Athletic. This is absolutely brilliant. You could say, do you know what? Somebody just messaged me saying Burton Masterclass. And I thought, is it a masterclass, or has he just dragged out a situation that we could have solved sooner? So I think it's very important. I know, listen, I'm delighted. Berta's got the deal done, so of course we got to give Berta credit. But is it a masterclass? And I'll tell you why we may have to hold some caution with that. Because according to reports out of Portugal, Arsenal are now ready to meet the demands of Federico Varandas for Viktor Gyökeres and have already prepared an offer of 70 million euros fixed plus 10 million in add-ons, the terms Sporting intended to accept for the sale.
It's happening. Viktor Gyökeres, done deal, soon to be an Arsenal player, and I am buzzing about it. People, I don't care about anything else that's happened tonight. Other than the news, that Viktor Gyökeres is soon to be an Arsenal player. I'm buzzing. I'm back from Ed Sheeran. I had no signal. I had no understanding of anything out there in life. I was surrounded at Portman Road at the Ipswich Town Stadium, surrounded by thousands of people with no signal. And guess what? The news has arrived. Gyökeres is going to be an Arsenal player. And it looks like it's going to happen very soon. David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, Sammy Mokbel, all of these reliable sources that you lot tell me don't get anything wrong are reporting it. Fee agreed. Done deal. He's soon to be an Arsenal player. So the sunnies are out. We're celebrating. And it's time to get excited because this is a deal breaker, game changer signing. This is goosebumps for me. People might talk about it having to be a Rodrigo, Isak, Florian Wirtz type summer. That's a 10 out of 10. It's absolutely unrealistic. But this right now is what I'm talking about. Viktor Gyökeres to Arsenal.
The camera right now, I'll be doing the Bane celebration, which I just had to be taught it was Bane. Anyway, Arsenal signing Viktor Gyökeres, guys. David Ornstein and Hand of Arsenal coming through. It is happening. Arsenal on the verge of completing a deal, agreeing a deal, completing the signing of Viktor Gyökeres. Of course, he'll have to fly in, he'll have to do the medical, he'll have to do all that. But you know what? This is why I was so apprehensive about making the video earlier today, where I said that it's been stalling and the president came out and said all this stuff. I just thought there's another twist, surely. And I probably went too soon. I should have waited. But do you know what it was? We made the point in that video, pointed out by others, Mercy, I didn't spot this myself, that the same thing happened with Pedro Porro, where the day before he officially signed for Tottenham, everything coming out of the media, even David Ornstein reporting that the Sporting president had gone back on his word and Pedro Porro was devastated his move to Tottenham wasn't going to happen. Very much like that, Viktor Gyökeres, who yesterday was subject to some pretty stern comments from the Sporting president saying we're not going to be bullied. A day later, the deal is on the verge of being done. And Viktor Gyökeres is going to be an Arsenal player, guys. I mean, we will talk about this guy in real detail with Ben Mattinson and We'll talk about the podcast, we'll do breakdowns, we'll do stuff on AFTV. So we'll cover the player in real detail. As it's happening, and I might have said this in previous videos, so you know what, switch off from repeat.
Let's just get this deal over the line. Like I said, it's dragged on so much that it's taking the excitement out of the deal. Let's just be completely honest. With that being said, I'm happy about the signing. This is the striker that I wanted us to go out and get. We have now got that signing over the line, and I am happy with that. I'm happy with the signing. I think it's the type of signing that I think we need more of. Players that comfortably get into our starting 11, that are currently better than what we have, and move the needle. And we've been needing a top striker. Moreno, decent job, but you're not the guy to get us over the line. You're not a natural striker. Havertz, it's really funny how all the people that loved Havertz and tried to justify Havertz and told us how Havertz should be a signing that we should be behind, and a player that if you don't see what Havertz does, you don't understand football. Now want a player that scores goals. I just find that funny. But it is what it is. This is the signing that I wanted. But there's a lot more business to be done. What worries me is how long it's taken us to get certain signings over the line. But ultimately, if we get the signings that we need, then it is what it is. We still got a lot more business to do. Let's not forget, we've got a bench that's not good enough. And like I said before, and I'll keep saying this, the best way to replace the bench, the best way to fix the bench is get players that comfortably get into the starting 11. And Gyökeres gets into the starting 11. Let's just be real. And those are the signings that you need to add to your team when you're finishing second 3 years in a row and you want to get over the line. You need players that move the needle. And for me, like I said, Gyökeres, great signing. Zubimendi, I'm happy with that signing. Kepa, not happy with that signing. But it is what it is. Norgard, steady Eddie, doesn't move the needle, isn't a signing that I'm really that excited about. So, listen, it's one of them ones where Zubimendi's going to be a starter because Partey's now gone. Gyökeres is now a starter. Now go forward and build the right team around the striker. And what I mean by that is we had a Aubameyang and we didn't build a team around the Aubameyang good enough to win major honours.
Ornstein bomber for your blood clot.
The energy levels are back again, blood. You understand? You can see the hype is back again. The bass in my voice is back again, blood. And the people, you want to know why? I bet the people want to know why, blood. Yeah? Well, let me tell you why, blood. Yeah? Let me tell you why, blood. Ornstein bomber for your blood clot, blood. Yeah? You understand? The last Ornstein bomber I did not enjoy. The last Fabrizio, here we go. I did not enjoy, blood. You understand? But this one has brought a smile to my face on this beautiful Sunday evening, blood. You understand? I was literally on the balcony, and then I got a fellow gunner that lives opposite, blood. You understand? And he was shouting from his balcony, Gyökeres, Gyökeres. I'm looking at him like, I gave him the, what do you mean, bro? He said, Ornstein, it's done. Ornstein, it's done. I said, huh? I said, yo, let me go check my phone, blood. You understand? Because I've been doing up family dad. You understand? It's been a family day. You get me? So the phone was not about, blood. You get me? And when I checked the phone and I saw the news, blood, it brought a big smile to my face, blood. You get me? As you can see from the horse's mouth itself, Mr. Bomber, Mr. David Ornstein of The Athletic, has reported this evening that Arsenal in process of completing move for Viktor Gyökeres after taking final steps in negotiations with Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal made formal advances on deal terms over weekend in bid to secure 27-year-old Sporting Lisbon striker 5-year contract lined up, blood. You understand?
And as the title says, when is it gonna end? Well, I think it's about to end because it looks like we may well have our striker. Viktor Gyökeres is on the verge of joining Arsenal. Finally, it looks like the saga is over. It looks like we have got our man. It looks like we have got the striker that we've all been craving for so long. How long's it been? I swear I see a statistic only a week or so ago that said Mikel Arteta has signed more goalkeepers than he has attacking players. How mad is that? I love Mikel Arteta, but my word, that's a mad statistic. You can't be having more goalkeepers than you can attacking players. It's all well and good keeping the ball out at one end, but you got to pull it in the net at the other. But yeah, listen, at the end of the day, when I'm looking at things right now, and the talk as well is that this week we're going to be signing Mosquera from Valencia. And if we get that deal done as well with Madueke all but done and signed, we're just waiting for the announcement basically. We would have signed 6 players already and we're not even in the middle of July. That is so un-Arsenal-like. And what I would say is that all of the supporters and all of the fans that were sitting there only a few weeks ago, just before the start of July, and were going absolutely nuts over our lack of signings. They expected the window to open and Arsenal were immediately going to sign all these players and everything was going to be rosy in the garden. It doesn't work like that. So many people said that there's certain things that need to, be put in place first, and that these are multi-million-pound deals.